was it a continual sort of promise of faith and fidelity, or was there one conversation that you remember specifically that you said, okay, from here on in, that's done?
Yeah. So when I went away on the Rico, and and at first I was like, all right, why, Lord? Like you got me on this different path here. I see a lot of people I'm able to help out in the old lifestyle. A lot of guys left different clubs, not only the Hells Angels, different clubs, and came to me and said, man, we're seeing what you're doing, and we admire it. And I was explaining how you got to do it. You have to walk away and not, return. And now here I'm back in the joint, right, and paying for the old. And when I got down on my knees in that cold cell that they had me in, I wasn't in a federal prison yet. I was in a holding facility, no bond on the Rico. When they kicked our doors in that morning, and we went, that judge was like, no bond, because the predicate acts in the RICO was off from the war stuff, so, no bond with the feds. And I'm sitting in there, and when I got down on my knees and I said, all right, I don't know why or what the purpose is, but you do. Like I said, I knew the Lord. I was an altar boy. I came from a strict Catholic family of knowing the Word. My mom and dad instilled it. We prayed over every meal, and we were that family. And I said, but I'm going to trust in you, and, whether I get 20 years or 9 years, you know the rip, Lord, and I'm going to sit back. I'm going to jump in the raft of the lazy river of life, and just as I say, God did this in my life. I made the dumb decisions, and I ran down them crazy, I call them dead-end streets, but he protected me, right? I mean, you see the tombstones, you hear about the deaths, you hear about guys doing life in prison. I'm making all these decisions, and he's protecting me. I should not be sitting here, right? Them dudes were trying to knock my head off my shoulders, and the Fed boys were trying to put me and pump me sunlight into a prison for 100 years, right? And here we are doing your podcast, and for a bigger reason. But I always trusted him, and I said, I'm not going to question you. I'm going to put it neutral. You're driving the car. And, now that I'm home, I always have a funny prayer, and I said, all right, Lord, if I don't ever have to sit in an 8x10 and eat some ramen noodles again, I'd definitely be a happy camper. But if there's a purpose for that, because you need me to go and touch one person's life of where I'm at, I get it. But if I don't have to, please. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not trying to. But that's my trust in the Lord, and that's how I've been since 2005. I don't stress on anything. Talking about our project, 4 years in the making, people, wouldn't have patience. Like, come on, let's get this thing going. Let's get this thing. It's his show, and I'm just sitting back and being the vessel and living in it. And it makes things much easier for me, because, when I get frazzled and try to take things into my own hands, look what it does. It's not a good outcome for me. I have that, like Chris got a good saying, Bayless got a good saying. He goes, Mel never had a plan B. It was run in, do what you do, and whatever happens, happens. Some guys are like, all right, let's try to get away with this. No. If something happened to us back in the day, for instance, one of our guys gets jumped in a bar by some construction guys. He's in there with his old lady. Gets jumped in the bar. He's got his patch on. They beat him up. They see who he is. He cops come. Some patrons call the cops. Cops come, break it up. You want to press charges? Our guy goes, I'm not pressing any charges. I'm good. See you guys later. They give us a call. Pagers go off. We're all out at this time. There's like 7 of us, and we're all hanging out in strip club. We all get the 911 call. What's going on, Butch? You good? Nah, I just got where? At night moves. Right now, who you with? I'm with my old lady in the parking lot. Where's the dudes? They're inside the bar. But the cops just left. They're all down the street right here at this local gas station, and don't split. We're coming. So we come to the parking lot, and he's out there with his old lady and stuff. And I said, all right, boys, everybody give their guns to his old lady. Put them in the trunk of the car. We don't need them. We're going to go in here and fuck these boys' world up right here for hurting him, right? So, let's take a ride around the block, see if the cops are there. I said, I'll do it. Jump in my vet. So me and the member, we jump in my vet. We drive around. 6 squads in the gas station from here to your kitchen door, right? But I'm like, do not tell these guys when we go back. These guys are sitting here. Who cares? We're going in there and we're jacking these dudes up, right? He goes, okay, we got the sap gloves on, right? So we walk in, and the dudes turn around, and it's on. Bam, we're getting them. Bottles broken, sticking them in the ribs, and a melee, right? Yeah. Right? And the cops get the call. They're like, I think they walked there, right? They were so close, right? So as we're exiting the bar and we're all going to get in the vehicles, they shut the two parking, the exit spots down, and we're in the parking lot, right? So we get out of the car. It's freezing cold. We jump out. Of blood all over my pants. The cops got us, right? What's going on here? I said, man, our dude got jumped in the bar. And he goes, yeah, 30 minutes ago, you guys came back for the retaliation. I said, nobody's saying nothing, right? Where it is what it is. Arrest us or whatever we're doing. So they get the guys. They got out. Some ambulances come. Guys are pretty banged up, these guys, these construction dudes. And the chief of police of the town, I know him from the gym. He comes. He's off. It's at nighttime. It's 11 o'clock, at nighttime. He comes and he sees me and stuff, and he comes over. He's like, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And he goes, "Oh, your guy got jumped here?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay." He goes, "Well, the guys are over there." He goes, "I'll be right back." Well, this chief goes and tell these guys, "Hey guys, you guys are gonna press charges." I heard. Yeah, we're pressing charges. One guy's going to the hospital. He got stuck pretty good with a beer bottle and stuff like that, and they're banged, right? I mean, with hammers and the whole 9 yards. And he goes, okay. He goes, that's cool. He goes, but I don't have a horse in the race. He tells him, he goes, I'm going to tell you guys something. You know who they were. And you see the big dude that's out there, right? And he's the president and stuff, and he loves his brothers. And they're going to know who you guys are now. We can't protect you from that. They're going to get your addresses. They're going to get everything. Once it goes into the court system, they're going to know who you guys are. You jumped that guy. And now they're here. So if I'm just saying, if that's what you want, we're going to go ahead and do it. And they started thinking, and he goes, I can't go either way with you. You want to do it. He goes, but I'm going to let you know because these other cops are zealous to get these guys. It could be a problem. So about 10 minutes later, we're all huddled up because we're cold, right? And we got short sleeve shirts on because we just went in there like this. We're all kind of huddled up and everything like that. And we hear, we got a gun because they were searching vehicles. And I'm like, they got a gun? Well, one of my guys didn't give his gun up, and I can't blame him for that, because what if they had one? Now a gun gets pulled out, what are you going to throw a hammer at him?
Yeah.
So he brought the gun in and ditched it in the car. So they popped him with the gun, right? And all of a sudden, the chief comes over, and he goes, hey, boys, no, we weren't cuffed up. He goes, don't cuff them up. No one's pressing charges. And you hear the normal cops, like, what do you mean? We just talked to them. And the chief goes, I just came from there. They don't want to press charges, so we don't have nothing going on. And so we were able to walk out of that, got our guy out from getting pinched with the gun in the morning time and stuff like that. So, that's the way we were.
Yeah.
If one got hurt, we felt it.
Yeah.
And we were there, man. There was no plan B. Like, what are we going to do to get out of it? We're going to go jack these dudes up, and whatever happens, happens, right? We all kind of knew the penitentiary was definitely in our future and the grave sites, right? We always used to say that. I used to have an old saying, and I used to tell one of the guys, save me a good spot on your chest for the tombstone for me. And they'd say, don't say that. And I'm like, well, how am I not going to be there? Kind of the poster child, right? How is that not going to happen? So, it was, like I said, by the grace of God that, I'm here. A lot of us are still here. A couple casualties, a couple brothers did get killed on both sides, and was part of the turmoil, right, John?
But this good Mel, this guy that you are now, that's just spreading so much light and love. Do you make a decision to do that every day? And can you give me an example? Like, can you give me an example of how that fills you and how you're sort of propelled to keep living that way?
Yeah, I don't think it's a decision that I have to consciously make, right? Like, I'm
now it's so habitualized.
Yeah. I get up in the morning time, and I spend some time with the Lord, right? I fellowship with Him. You see, I do the devotionals in the morning time, right, on my social media. I video it and read the devotionals, and we lift up brothers and sisters that people are asking for. I know Sydney and, the Angle family have asked to lift some people up that were sick or going through some stuff. So we lift them up in the morning time. We'll just say their first name. We don't need to know what they're going through. He does, right? Let's lift up John. Let's lift up Baron. Let's lift up Mel, and we do that. And it became a thing where I do it Monday through Friday, every morning. We do it. We call it the John 3:16 devotional team. And there's people that are part of this and watch this from all around the world, Australia, Europe, right? Yeah. And we're fellowshipping with each other like that way. And we're lifting brothers and sisters up and stuff like that. So, when I said I let Him run everything I do, so it ain't like I got to say, okay, let me be a good guy today. It's just who I became, right? By His grace, right? And I see the people that are a part of this devotional team, as we call ourselves, and some bad cats. That were some bad cats back in the day that got out of their organizations and want to know, how did you do it, Mel? I want to know that relationship that I see you having with the Lord. How can I know it? Call out to him. I'm nobody special. He loves us all the same. He didn't like me better than anybody. I just happened to hear him calling upon my heart, and I said, here I am.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's John, Bam Bam the dog. First, on behalf of both of us and everybody from the Real Ones team, I just want to sincerely thank you guys for tuning in. The folks that I bring on the show, they're family to me, and being able to tell their stories and bringing you into their world is something I'm just super proud of, and again, grateful that you guys tune in. We decided we want to take things just a step further. It's a Patreon community, and basically what that means is if you become part of this community, look, I already bored Bam Bam. If you want to become a part of this community, you're going to be able to hear episodes early and all that, ad-free and all that good stuff. But there's all this behind-the-scenes footage, all this stuff that we've shot that really brings you into the folks that we've had on the show, really brings you into their world. Live chats with me and the folks that I bring on the show to talk about their world, talk about the issues that they're dealing with, about their triumphs and their tragedies. Just go to Patreon/RealOnes on this website that you see right there, right on the screen, that's right in front of you. This whole idea was something about building bridges and bringing people together and bringing folks that often don't get the mic and giving the mic to them. So the fact that you guys tune in means the world. Anyways, again, thank you. Be good to each other out there. Rock and roll.